There are sentences that make a woman pause, and then there are sentences that make her feel you. Most men don't know the difference until it's too late. If you've ever watched her drift toward another man and wondered what he said that you didn't, this is where everything changes for you. You're here because you want clarity, real, unfiltered clarity, from a woman who has spent years studying the psychology of female attraction, attachment, and desire. And I'm going to tell you something most men never hear. Women aren't attracted to words. They're attracted to the emotional world your words create inside them. A woman doesn't suddenly find a man attractive because he drops a pickup line or tries to impress her. She becomes attracted when a man's presence makes her feel safe, seen, and slightly challenged at the same time. And there's one simple sentence, one powerful shift that does exactly that. But before you can use it, you need to understand why most men fail. Most men talk to women the way they talk to the world. Defensive, uncertain, trying not to say something wrong. You can see it in their body language, hear it in their tone, feel it in the hesitation. A woman picks up on that instantly, not because she's trying to judge you, but because her mind is wired for emotional detection. She reads confidence the way you read danger, instantly, automatically, without effort. And here's the truth you were never told. The moment a woman senses that you're trying to impress her, she stops feeling attracted to you and starts evaluating you. Once she switches into evaluation mode, you're no longer a potential partner, you're a checklist item. And no man becomes irresistible by fitting into a checklist. So, what actually sparks attraction in the first few seconds? It's the energy of a man who can speak to a woman without shrinking, without posturing, and without chasing. A man who communicates from a grounded place, calm but not passive, confident but not arrogant, expressive but not emotional chaos. And that's why this one sentence is so powerful. It creates all three of those feelings at once. But before I give it to you, I want you to understand something fundamental. A woman becomes attracted when a man reveals that he sees what most men never see. And the sentence you're about to learn does exactly that. It shows her you understand her deeper than the average guy, without trying, without begging, without performing. It shifts the dynamic instantly because it speaks to the part of her that craves connection, strength, and emotional intelligence in the same breath. A woman becomes attracted long before she admits it, even to herself. And the moment it happens is almost always the same. It's when a man says something that cuts through her defenses, bypasses her ego, and lands directly in her emotional core. Not aggressive, not needy, not romantic, just real. Most men never get there because they speak to a woman's surface instead of her center. But the sentence I'm about to reveal works because it flips her emotional state instantly. It signals confidence, emotional awareness, and depth, all in one breath. But first, you need to understand the psychology behind it. A woman's mind is constantly scanning for something. Is this man genuine or is he performing? If she senses a performance, the attraction dies on the spot. But if she senses truth, authentic, grounded truth, her guard drops. Not because she chooses to, but because her nervous system relaxes. She stops analyzing you and starts feeling you. That shift is everything. So what's the sentence that triggers it? It's this: I like the way you think. Most people don't notice the things you just did. Simple, but devastatingly effective. Let me break down why. When you say this, you're not complimenting her looks. You're not putting her on a pedestal. You're not trying to win her. You're affirming her mind, her intelligence, her perspective, her intuition. You're telling her you see something deeper, something most people overlook. And every woman, no matter how confident she seems, wants to feel uniquely understood. This sentence does 4 things immediately. First, it shows you're present. You're paying attention to more than her appearance. Second, it communicates emotional intelligence. You noticed something subtle. Third, it creates curiosity. She'll wonder what exactly you saw. And fourth, it shifts her from evaluating you to wanting to be evaluated by you. That is the psychology of instant attraction. Not manipulation, not games. Just a man who can observe, reflect, and communicate with intention. And here's the part most men don't know. When you speak to a woman's inner world, she becomes drawn to your outer world. When you validate her mind, her body responds. When you acknowledge her uniqueness, her heart opens. Attraction is never random, it's responsive. Men think women fall for looks, money, height. But attraction, real attraction, is emotional resonance. She's attracted to how you make her feel about herself when she's around you. And the sentence you just learned makes her feel seen, valued, and different from the crowd. It tells her, I'm not like most men. And you don't have to be like most women. There's something every man needs to understand about attraction. Women feel chemistry in the spaces between your words. It's not the sentence alone that pulls her in. It's the energy, the intent, the emotional clarity behind it. When you say, I like the way you think, most people don't notice the things you just did. You open a door inside her, but what you do next determines whether she steps through it or quietly closes it. Most men make the same mistake right here. They get excited, they overtalk, they try to double down, explain themselves, or impress her even more. And in doing so, they kill the very spark they just created. Because attraction doesn't grow from pressure, it grows from presence, from silence, from emotional pacing. A woman doesn't want a man who floods her with attention. She wants a man who gives her space to feel her own reaction to him. Let me tell you something, as a psychologist who has listened to countless women. They don't fall for men who try too hard. They fall for men who hold steady while she starts leaning in. Women are deeply intuitive. When a sentence hits them emotionally, their curiosity spikes. They start studying you. They wonder what you see. They wonder what you notice. They wonder what else you might understand. Most importantly, they wonder why you aren't trying to chase them. That's when attraction deepens. So after you say that sentence, the most powerful thing you can do is this. Stay grounded and redirect the conversation to something real. Not her beauty, not her life story, not your resume. Something calm and simple like, what made you see it that way? Or, that perspective didn't come out of nowhere. Where'd you learn to think like that? These questions do something subtle but magnetic. They invite her into herself. And the moment you guide a woman into exploring her own inner world, you become emotionally significant to her. Not because you forced your way in, but because you opened a space for her to express the part of herself she rarely shares. Women remember the men who make them feel interesting, not the men who try to be interesting. Here's the truth. No one tells men. When you make a woman feel seen, she becomes curious. When you make her feel understood, she becomes open. When you make her feel safe, she becomes receptive. But when you make her feel intriguing, she becomes attracted. Attraction is emotional gravity, and emotional gravity isn't built by showing off. It's built by understanding the moments where you should speak and the moments where you should let her feel. Most men think attraction is something they have to perform, something they have to earn, something they have to do right. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Women aren't attracted to perfection. They're attracted to emotional stability, intentional presence, and a man who knows who he is even in silence. When you use that sentence, I like the way you think, most people don't notice the things you just did. You ignite something inside her. You separate yourself from every man who only notices her appearance. You show depth without bragging. But what truly makes her attracted is not the sentence. It's the identity behind the sentence. A man who can say that with calm confidence is a man who sees the world differently, a man who isn't scared of connection, a man who isn't hiding behind ego or pretending to be something he's not. Women can sense this instantly. They feel it in your tone, your pacing, your posture, your presence. And when a woman feels emotional clarity from a man, she relaxes into her feminine energy naturally. She becomes more open, more expressive, more curious, because she feels the one thing she rarely feels: safe to be herself. Understanding female psychology is not about manipulation. It's about awareness. Women respond to men who understand emotional nuance, not because it tricks them, but because it finally lets them put their guard down. Every woman carries the memory of men who didn't listen, didn't care, didn't understand. When she meets a man who actually pays attention, who listens not just to her words, but the emotions beneath them, it's rare. It stands out. It creates an emotional imprint. And here's the part most men never realize. Once a woman feels emotionally connected to you, attraction becomes effortless. You don't have to force conversation. You don't have to chase. You don't have to prove your worth. Your presence becomes enough. But remember this, attraction is not built on intensity. It's built on consistency. Keep your tone grounded. Keep your intentions clean. Keep your curiosity real. Don't rush, don't over-explain, don't perform. Let her feel you. Let her experience the calm strength behind your words. Let her invest emotionally instead of trying to pull her in. Because the moment she realizes you understand her mind is the moment she starts imagining you in her life. And that is the deepest level of attraction a man can create. Not through looks, not through status, but through emotional intelligence and authenticity. Now I want to know something personal from you. What's one thing you wish you could say to a woman, but you've never had the courage to actually say? Drop your answer in the comments, and if this video hit you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a man who needs this message today.